Hello and welcome to Book Battle episode 4. I'm Anne, and if you don't know what this series is about, this is me being accountable for all the physical books that I'm reading, buying, and what's on my shelves. So the main premise of this is that I am reading books out of my stacks, which are pointed over here, if you can see them. Reading out of those and trying to figure out if I want them on my shelf or not. And there are some rules that go with this. I have to randomly number generate how many books I read within that log. Minimum is 3, maximum is 5 out of the stacks. But that does not include any books that I have to take off my shelf to fit books onto my shelf. So if I decide that I really, really love a book and I want it on my shelf immediately, then I have to actively fit it on my shelf without taking a book off, or if I take that book off, I have to read it. So I have done some serious damage to myself for this month. I am in a lot of trouble. I bought a lot of books at a recent book event, and some of them I've read, which are all of these. So that means I have to get them on my shelf because I just bought them and I want to own them. So that means I'm going to have to pull quite a few books off the shelf. But then I also have this stack and this stack to add to the piles. So we are going to randomly number generate our number. And that's going to be how many books we have to read out of the pile. Plural. We're going to add all of these books into the piles, shuffle them up so we have a little bit of variety and changing up of some of the books. And then we will see how many books I can fit on my shelf without taking any books off. Because that would be really, really nice. Because I can see a few little spaces, so we might be able to work around this. Because I do not want to have a mental breakdown in my birthday month. Okay, so I'm in so much trouble. So let's pull up our random number generator. We have a minimum of 3, a maximum of 5, and we are going to generate 3. Okay, I can work with 3. So I have to randomly number generate 3 books out of the stacks. And if I have to pull any books off my shelf to get my other stack on the shelf, then we have to read those books as well. 3 I can deal with. So let's see what we can do and get some of these books on the shelf. Alrighty. I'm going to set you up somewhere and then we can go from there. Alrighty. Let's do it. Alright, I've set myself over in this little corner because I know I have space in a few little spots on this shelf. So we're going to try and fit some of these books on here. So I know I've got some room here. I can fit quite a few books here. I might be able to shuffle some of these around, like these, and fit something else in here. I might be able to fit some up here and up here, possibly. So let's just try and wiggle some books around and see what we can do. Because I am very, very scared of this challenge for this month. But I had a really amazing event. It was so great seeing everyone. It was honestly the best time meeting everyone, seeing all of my friends that I haven't seen in quite a while, and also meeting new friends. So it was definitely an event well worth it. And I do want to reread a lot of these books at some point, so we will eventually do that as well. But I'm hoping I can fit quite a few of these books on here, because that would be, honestly, a dream come true. But now we're quickly running out of space. And I'm actively trying not to double stack my shelves, because I'm trying to obviously reduce how many books are on my shelves, so it won't help. Okay, I've got 3 that I didn't get on my shelf without too much shuffling about, so we might be okay. I might have to do some shuffling over on my other shelves, but I think we're not doing too bad. That wasn't too much of a squeeze, really. I don't think I can fit anything else on this shelf. But I'm really happy with that so far. Yes. All right, we're going to go over to my other shelves and see what we can do. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't know how I'm going to fit these books on these shelves, because these are jam-packed. And I'm slowly trying to stop double stacking a lot of my books on the shelf. So like behind here, you can probably see there's a bunch of books behind there, which I'm trying not to do. And I have a feeling this is going to be a big battle. I know I've got one space up there, but I want to try and keep this series together, because it is a 3-book series so far. And I am obsessed with this series. So we're trying to see what I can do. Okay. Let's do some shuffling and see what we can do, because I am scared. Scared. So I'm going to try and rearrange. Oh, you can't even see. Maybe if I check these up here, check that down there. See if I can stack them like this and fit them here. I think we have successfully done it with room to spare. Am I proud of myself? Yes. Yes, I am. So it seems like we only have to read 3 books for this vlog. So I'm very freaking happy about that. Very happy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add all of this pile into the stacks, and then we'll get to reading, because I'm so happy right now. So freaking happy right now. Alrighty, we have added everything to the stacks. We did a little bit of a shuffle, and we've got our stacks here. So now I have counted, we have 60 books back in the stacks. So we're not doing too well in the reading thing, but I feel like 3 is just not enough for this challenge. But maybe I will do a couple more at the end, once I've kind of read the 3, and we'll see how we go from there. I don't want to say anything now and then like lose my mind, because I end up saying something else and then regretting my decisions. So we are going to start with 1 to 60. We're going to generate, and that is number 15. Yes, number 15. So let's go to the stacks and see what that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Girl A by Abigail Dean. Alrighty. Oh, this tape. Please don't fall. Okay, so we got Girl A by Abigail Dean. I know that this is a thriller. Girl A, she said, the girl who escaped. If anyone was going to make it, it was going to be you. Next, Gracie doesn't want to think about her family. She doesn't want to think about growing up in her parents' house of horrors. And she doesn't want to think about her identity as Girl A, the girl who escaped. When her mother dies in prison and leaves Lex and her siblings the family home, she can't run from her past anymore. Together with her sister Evie, Lex intends to turn the House of Horrors into a force for good. But first, she must come to terms with her 6 siblings and with the childhood they shared. Sounds interesting. It is a thriller, so I'm very, very intrigued. And yeah, I think I can get this on audio probably, but I will probably just fly through this because it seems very, very short. And thrillers tend to, it's 326 pages, and thrillers seem to kind of fly that little bit quicker. So I'll definitely come back and update you as I read. And yeah, I'm quite excited for this vlog now. Who would have thought that I would have gotten all of those books on my shelves, which is very exciting. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get some reading done, and then we will go from there. Goodbye. It is the 3rd of May, and I started this vlog on the 1st. And I've decided I'm DNFing Girl A by Abigail Dean. I just got to page I just got a little bit over page 100 and I'm just not enjoying it. It's just not a fun time for me at the moment. So I am just going to DNF this and get it off my stacks and my shelf. I'm not enjoying it. It's taking me 2 days to read 100 pages. It's just not worth my time. I just don't like the writing style. We're moving through these timelines and I just don't really understand what's going on. Everything is so vague and I just don't have a grasp on what's happening, who's involved and why. And I feel like we should have had something to kind of hook me in, and I don't have a hook at the moment, so I'm just going to DNF. So that means we have 59 books in the stacks and we have to pick our next book. I've had a lot of issues today with my podcast editing. If you didn't know, I am starting a podcast with one of my best friends, Brie. It's called the Broke Book Girls podcast, and we are in the middle of pre-filming and I'm trying to get all the editing done and it's just not working at the moment, which is unfortunate. So I'm getting some ticketing done with the software to try and help, but we might have to re-record everything, which is sad. But I'm going to pull up a random number generator and we're just gonna go straight into, alrighty, that's any round so you can have a look. Alright, as you can see, minimum 1, max 59. And I've decided for this vlog too that if I DNF, because I only have 3 books, I have to read 3 books. Whether I DNF 5, I still have to read 3 books fully. So we have number 9. So let's go up to the shelves and see what number 9 is. Hi. All right, we have our stacks here. So we've got stack number 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, this is one of my new ones. Okay, I'm very excited about this. This is Of Dresses and Dragons by AJ Dove. I just picked this up at Ages of Pages, so I'm very, very excited. I've seen that the author has said that if you like, oh, that's very zoomed in. Whoop. If you like Fourth Wing and Throne of Glass, this is for you. So I'm very, very intrigued about this one. So 20 years ago, Tara Connor was saved from the ravages of war when every mage agreed to surrender their talents to the royal family. Powerful mages like Rhea Corona's mother were rewarded for their sacrifice with not only peace but senior positions in the castle for them and their children. Determined to have a life beyond lady-in-waiting to Princess Briar, Rhea accepts a challenge. All she has to do is find a suitable dragon for Briar's coming of age, and Briar will approve her marriage to the dashing Count Romano. Her life will finally be what she wants it to be. When she meets the irreverent dragon trainer Gareth Thorne, her world begins to crumble. Something in her has awakened and is drawn to him, and something is making her mother and so many others in the castle very ill. I'm very intrigued and I'm so excited that I finally have added. Wow, the writing is tiny on here. So I might pick this up on ebook and see how I go with it and see, because it is signed and annotated, signed to me. So yeah, I'm very, very intrigued and I'm excited to actually pick up this one. So let's go get some reading done. It's been a hot minute since I updated this vlog because life has been chaotic over the last week, week and a half, whatever you want to say. But I've had a lot of personal issues happening with life, with friend groups, things like that. So I've been trying to actively deal with that. But now I think things have finally started to settle down so I can concentrate on my reading because I haven't been reading a lot. And it's been sad. It's been frustrating. There's been a lot of issues. But we are working through them. So I'm here to update you on Of Dragons and Dragons by AJ and Dove. I haven't read this since last weekend, but I got to chapter 18 over the weekend last weekend and I am obsessed. I'm loving this book so much. So we're following our main character Rhea. I forgot her name for a sec. And she is a lady in waiting. And doesn't want to be a lady in waiting. She believes that she has more to give to life. And a life worth more than being a lady in waiting. So she comes to an agreement with the princess that if she picks her princess's ceremonial dragon, the princess will give her permission to marry someone of nobility so she can then not be a lady in waiting anymore and be someone of stature within this world. So she decides that she's going to go do that, and she meets the dragon rider, who is this broody, grumpy guy. They have this sort of connection immediately, and we're finding out that he has some secrets. So I am on to chapter 18. I've heard people read about talk about this book before and complain that our main character sleeps with someone else who's not the male main character. And in my opinion, I don't really care about that. I don't really see issues with our female characters kind of living sexually, living the way that they want and being comfortable in their body and in their sexuality. So I never see any issues with that. I love seeing women kind of take pleasure as they need it, whether it's including the male main character or not. But I do think that this is going to kind of create a little bit of a messier dynamic between our characters, which I'm very, very intrigued to see what goes on. I am really enjoying it. The dragons are sassy. Our main character, Rhea, she's a badass. She is very sassy as well, and she doesn't take any shit. And we're slowly starting to see the plot start to thicken a little bit because things are happening behind the scenes, and we're realizing that our main character, oh my god, what's his name? Our male main character has some secrets. And he's trying to find out some information. So I'm very, very intrigued. I'm very excited to finally be reading this again this weekend. So hopefully I can finish it and update you guys with some more thoughts as I go through this weekend. But yeah, life has been chaotic, but I did get my nails done and I'm obsessed. And I decided to go with a almond shape, which is a bit different to what I normally do. But I'm obsessed and I love it so freaking much. But yeah, and I'm wearing a back brace because I'm trying to help with my posture because it's terrible and it's not helping with my rotator cuff injury. But yeah, I've got a lot to do this weekend, so hopefully I can get some reading done. And it's my birthday on Monday, so yeah, things are looking up. Things are starting to feel better. So I'm going to go. I'm going to get some stuff done and then I'm going to read because I'm so excited to just fall back into reading again because it has not been happening this week. So I'll talk to you when I've got an update at some point throughout the weekend. Good evening. I have finished Of Dresses and Dragons by AJ and Dove, and I really enjoyed this, and I'm mulling over my rating for this book, but it's going to be somewhere between a 4 and a 5 star. I really enjoyed it. I am going to not give you a full review at the moment because I'm very tired. It is 10:47 at night and I'm very tired, but we are going to pick our next book from the stacks. So we're going to come over here. We're going to tilt this up just a little bit. Ignore these books. These don't count. They are the recently hauled books for my birthday. We have 58 books in the stacks, which is exciting. We are oh, we are whittling down the numbers again. So I'm going to pull up my number generator, and we are going to put in 58. I got 1 to 58. Generate 48. Okay, so we can go from the last stack and count up 10, and we will have our book. So let's do that. Oh god. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Continuing a series with this one. Okay. Alrighty. So the book that I've gotten is Fire by Kristin Cashore. I read Graceling sometime at the end of last year or early this year. I can't really remember. But this is kind of book 2 in the Graceling series. And I know that they're kind of like interconnected standalones, so we follow a different character with every one. And I'm pretty sure this is the second one. If it isn't the second one, I will pull out the second one, which is Bitter Blue. But I'm pretty sure Fire is the second one. And this is following Fire's exceptional beauty gives her influence and power. People who are susceptible to it will do anything for her attention and for her affection, but beauty is only skin deep, and beneath it Fire has a human appreciation of right and wrong. Aware of her ability to influence others and afraid of it, she lives in a corner of the world away from people, not only to protect them but also to protect herself from their attention, their distrust, and even their hatred. Yet Fire is not the only danger to the Dells. If she wants to protect her home, if she wants a chance to undo the wrongs of the past, she must face her fears, her abilities in a royal courtroom full of powerful people with reason to distrust her. Sounds interesting. I did enjoy Graceling. It was a 4-star read for me, and it was a lot darker for a YA than I expected. So I'm very intrigued to be finally continuing with the series. So let's just pull up Goodreads and double check that Fire is book 2, because I don't want to pick this one up and spoil it, because I know Bitter Blue follows a character from book 1 that we meet in book 1, and I know there's more in the series now, so let's have a quick look. Yeah, Fire is book number 2. Okay, cool. Yes, we've got Graceling, Fire, Bitter Blue, Winter Keep, and Sea Sparrow, because she's recently started coming out with some new ones within this series. So I'm very interested. It has a 4.1 rating on Goodreads, which is pretty good. But I did decide to pull Graceling off my shelf, so I definitely think that Fire will be being on hold as well, even if I enjoyed it, because I did listen to Graceling on audio. So yeah, our next book. So I'm gonna go because I'm tired and I keep yawning. Case in point. And I'll give you an update and a full review of Dresses and Dragons tomorrow morning. Goodbye. Hello. It has been a hot minute since I've updated this vlog, but the book that I was reading was Fire by Kristin Cashore, and unfortunately I'm going to be DNFing this. So I just got 62 pages in and I'm just not enjoying it, and I'm really struggling with it. I've been reading it for the past 5 hours and I've literally only got 62 pages in, which is not good. I really enjoyed Graceling, and I read that at some point last year, I think, or maybe really early this year. But this feels like a completely different world, a completely different story. And this is supposed to be following a different character within this world, and I just don't understand what's happening. And yeah, I've just decided that I'm going to be DNFing this one, which means that I can also pull Bitter Blue off the stacks, and we are going to get rid of those because I don't want to read them. So I'm going to pull Bitter Blue off the stacks, and then we will pick our next book. So that means I still have 2 more books to read for this vlog. We're not having a very good one this month, but you are going to see some very big stacks of books that are not included in this video because that's June's problem. I have received a lot of gifts for my birthday, which a lot of them were books, which has put me into a lot of trouble for June adding things to my shelves and into the stacks. So I'm going to pull out Bitter Blue. I'm going to do a random number generator and see what we get. Oh no. Oh, my stacks fell over. Okay. Alright, I grabbed Bitter Blue. Of course, it was right at the bottom of the stacks, but I'm going to be adding that to my whole pile. So, we're going to come over here. Here are my stacks. Ignore these ones. These are part of my birthday book haul. But let's count how many books we have. 56 books are in the stacks. So let's pull up a random number generator. Random number generator. What did I say? 56. Next one. Generate 32. So 1, 32. Eve and Adam by Michael Grant and Katherine Applegate. Okay. We've got Eve and Adam. So this has been on my shelves for quite a while. Eve and Adam and Girl Creates a Boy. So this is a sci-fi ultra-modern mystery for 2 of the most exciting YA writers working today. So when you die, and I realised this as I hurtle through the air like a wounded bird, you should be thinking about love. Love has never had much of a place in the life of 16-year-old Evening Spiker, but being the daughter of a billionaire genetic scientist has other perks. Like a private hospital where you can recover from near-fatal road accidents and a hot surfer boy to push your wheelchair. While Eve is healing, her mother sets an irresistible challenge to use a cutting-edge virtual reality system to design the perfect boy. It's the chance of a lifetime, the chance to play God. But she isn't just playing. What Eve doesn't know is that her mother's research is about more than saving lives. It's about creating them. Sounds interesting. I picked it up for very cheap, and it looks like these chapters are quite short, so it might be a good one to fly through. So I'll definitely be reading it this weekend and hopefully finishing it, so then I can read one more book and finish off this vlog because it's taking a while, but that's all right. We are going to read and I will update you when I've got something to say. We are finally making some progress in this reading vlog, which is great. So I didn't come and update you while I was reading partway through this, but I have finished Eve and Adam by Michael Grant and Katherine Applegate, and I am going to be scrapping this one. I'm not a big fan of this one. It was fine. It was a fine read. It was very quick. It is more following Eve, and she ends up in a car accident, and her mother takes her to her sort of science facility to help her heal, and while she's there to keep her from being bored, she gives her daughter this sort of game to play, and it's creating the perfect human. And turns out that this perfect human turns out to be something that can happen in reality, and we're kind of watching that as it goes through. Sorry, I just had to pause because I didn't think my microphone was working, but it is, surprisingly. So as I was saying, we're following Eve as she is figuring out that this sort of weird science stuff is happening, and kind of figuring out that her mom may not be the perfect person that she believes she is. It was fine. It was fast-paced. It is very early 2010s YA. There's slut shaming in here, which I hate. We do not need to be calling teenagers sluts. It doesn't need to be happening, and yeah, it was fine. So that means it is going in my scrap pile, which is great because it gets another one off my stacks and not having to put them on the shelves. But we need to pick the next book for this vlog that I can hopefully read tomorrow and get this vlog finished, because that would be great. So I have 54 books in the stacks. We have a random number generator, 41. So let's go and find out what book we're going to be reading. Ooh. 41. I'm pretty sure it was 41. Yes, 41. So we have His Solstice Angel by Shaye Torrell. So this is one that I picked up at Ages of Pages, and this is the novella that follow of the Court series. So I have read book 1 and book 2. So this is book 2.5. And in this one we're following Zachariah. Michaels knows things about the future, he always has, but he's taken by surprise when one meeting with one woman changes his life in an instant. Now this loyal soldier of the court only knows one thing for sure: his life will be complete until he woos his shy new employee. This is a urban fantasy with hints of mafia vibes, and I really enjoyed book 1 and book 2, and I'm very excited to read this one. It is very short. It is just 194 pages, so I'm very excited, and I really enjoyed Zachariah in book 1 and book 2, so I'm very intrigued to see where his story goes in this one and his romance. So each one of these books follows a different character and follows their romance. So book 1 we're following our main character, who turns out that she may have some magic. She ends up falling in love with the vampire. Then in book 2 we're following a fae. I'm pretty sure she's fae, and she starts falling in love with the werewolf. And now we've got this one. I don't actually know. I can't remember what he is. He might be an angel, but anyway, I'm going to go and I'm going to get some reading done, and I'll definitely be finishing this tomorrow, which is exciting. That means this vlog will be ending tomorrow, and then we will go into the shit show that is the June vlog, because June is going to be crazy. Because if you look here, all of these need to be sorted, and there's another box there as well. Sorted and organized and divided, so whether they need to be added to the stacks or on my shelves, and I don't have room on my shelves. So June's book battle is gonna be crazy, but we're gonna finish this, and I'm very excited. So I'll update you tomorrow. Hello, happy Monday. It is time to update and finally finish this vlog. So last night I ended up finishing His Solstice Angel by Shaye Torrell, and I love this so much. This is a book 2.5, or like the novella in the Court series, and in this one we're following Zach, and he is falling in love with the receptionist that he has just hired, and I love this so much. There is so much emotion in here, there is so much trauma discussed, there is such a beautiful relationship, and I just loved watching Zach slowly fall in love. I've loved Zach throughout book 1 and book 2, so I'm very happy that he has gotten his own little novella. There was a lot of anger in here as well. I was getting so mad at our main Samantha's parents. They were despicable people and I absolutely hated them. But this is a 5-star read for me. Absolutely obsessed. Loved it, and I cannot wait to continue with this series, and I will definitely be rereading book 1, book 2 and this one again, so I can actually fully annotate them, because I was marking this with a pencil because I was trying to fly through it a little bit quicker. But that is the end of this vlog, which is very exciting. So the first, I don't even remember what the first book was. I don't remember what the first book was. What was it? It's been that long since I filmed the start of this vlog that I don't even remember. Was it Girl A? Let me check. Yes, it was. Where's that one? So the first book that came out of the stacks was Girl A by Abigail Dean, and I DNF'd this one, so that's definitely getting booted out of the house. Then we picked out Of Dresses and Dragons by AJ and Dove. This is absolutely amazing. I love this one. This is book 1. 4-star read for me. It was beautiful and amazing, and I'm very, very excited to continue with this series, and I'll definitely be going over my annotations and putting my tabs in because I had the best time with this one. So I'm very happy that I picked this one out of the stack. So this is going to be a keep, which means it has to go back on my shelves next month in the next vlog, which is going to be a bit tricky. But then we picked out Fire by Kristin Cashore. Again, this is another DNF for me. I might come back to this at another point. I do have the audiobook. It has just come through on Libby in preparation for reading this one, but I didn't really love it, so I think I might give it another chance at another point, but I don't think I need it to be in my stacks or on my shelves. So that will then relate to Bitter Blue. I took this out of the stacks because if I was DNFing this one, I'm not going to be reading book 3. So that's that. So because I DNF'd that one, I picked up Even Adam out of the stacks by Malcolm Grant and Katherine Applegate, and this was fine. It was a fine read. It was very quick, very fast paced, and I'm glad that I got this off. It is going to be leaving the house though. I am going to be unhauling it. And the last one is his Solstice Angel, and this is a 5-star read for me. Absolutely loved it, and somehow I'm going to have to try and find a space for this on my shelf. So in this vlog we removed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books from the stacks, which is very, very successful. We have 3 DNFs, well, 2 DNFs, 1 unhaul without reading it, and then we read these 3. So I'm very happy with that. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below if you've read any of these books or if any of them intrigue you, and subscribe if you want to see more content from me.